Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll give you guys a brief synopsis of the movies I picked up in September. Now I kind of went crazy. There's almost twice as much that I got in September versus August. Uh, I found this out by going through everything I purchased in August and September earlier. And so anyway, I love collecting movies and I do these hauls to show you guys what I got because I'm excited to show you guys what I have, what I'm excited for, and you guys can sort of gives you a chance to give some feedback, maybe some movies that y'all really want to see as well, or some that you highly recommend should be higher up on my watch list than others. So here we go. So I'll sort of start with the steelbooks first. We have this is a Walmart exclusive steelbook for Beetlejuice. I really like the cover. I like the color. The green sort of circular front has it's a nice nice design pattern to it. I really like it. It's got that very on the nose. It's a beetle on the back. So one thing with these is it doesn't close very well, and I noticed the same thing with Forrest Gump, which was another Walmart exclusive steelbook. So theirs aren't closing very well. So I don't know what it is about Walmart. I don't know if they're just stuffing it in the boxes to where they're becoming bent, but that's the thing is it's bent enough to where they don't close all the way. So it just sucks that maybe just a small extra attention detail could have been made for these, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we don't have to buy these, so that's just the name of the game. Sometimes they just end up a little bit damaged, and that's fine. But I do think Walmart's going to have to start stepping up their game when it comes to steelbooks, because there's two, and I believe the third steelbook I have that's damaged, and it all came from Walmart. So they kind of took over for Best Buy as far as that's concerned, but they need to really give good quality products for us. I'm sure there's plenty of others that have been collecting these steelbooks and don't have an issue at all. That's just something I've noticed, something that just happened to happen to the ones that I picked up. But anyway, we're gonna move on, guys. This is another one that I found at Walmart, which is fine. So I am getting steelbooks that are okay. We have the SpongeBob the SquarePants, the movie. Now, I remember watching this as a kid, watched it a few months back. It still holds up. The comedy's, it's goofy, it's funny, but that's just SpongeBob. If you don't watch SpongeBob, you're not going to understand the comedy. If you watch it before, you're always going to go back to it and love it, just as I have. I like how the whole front and back is him. It's the characters. I think it's cool. Found this for a fair price at Walmart at the time of purchase. It is currently unavailable on Amazon, and I just haven't seen it in movie trading companies. I haven't seen it at any other Walmart. I've only seen it at one particular store, so it was a neat one to find. This is another Walmart exclusive steelbook that is fine. So we have Joker. Now this one I really love. It shows it just singles him out. It doesn't show the world, the other characters. It's just him on the front. It's just him on the back. I'm excited for the next one. I end up seeing it in a couple of days here, so I'm really excited for it. I thought this one was done really, really well. It was almost is an emotional movie. Not that you feel bad for this character, that character, but just seeing the madness and the descent of the character's progression is just. It's a hard movie to watch if you're easily anxious or easily stressed over the kinds of scenarios this movie presents. So that's why I think this one was so good. Now we have the next three. So this one, I thought the packaging was really weird. This one's really, really weird. I got Sonic the Hedgehog, the 4K Steelbook. But here's the thing, guys. It's not really a 4K Steelbook. So I'll show you guys. So it has a slip. Take it off. We sort of have this, and it's just this, it's just the plastic that it sets in. So the movie, even though it says Steelbook, is actually just this. It comes in the 4K box. It's got a couple of booklets, couple little goodie items in the back here, but on the front, the Steelbook part, which is why it's confusing to me, is here. Let me show you guys. If I can get it out. That's going to be a nightmare to get it back in. This is the Steelbook. It's a little tiny thing. And guess what's inside? I'll show you guys what's inside. You turn this picture around, it's the code for the digital movie. That's That's what you want from a steelbook. It's like code for digital. So anyway, it shows supposed to be the rockets on the. It's just this is just weird. All right, guys. I expected a steelbook that the disc can fit in. The disc cannot fit in this, so I'm just really confused as to what this was supposed to be, and I can't even get it back in, so I'm just putting that on the side. This is just a weird set, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. I would have preferred to just buy the standard 4K movie. But anyway, so now we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We do have the slip. It has this retro sort of Sonic sort of theme pattern. The front's got, got the characters. The back has Sonic versus Knuckles. And then the slip comes off. It's this side. This is what happens when it comes off. So it's not much, but putting it in at all means that's some attention to just making it more than just a just a regular steelbook. So I always appreciate that. This one's not going to go back up. There we go. So I don't know what's going on with these guys, but the first one, this one I have not seen. So I haven't seen them yet. I plan to see them soon, and I plan on watching the steelbook for the TV show Knuckles. I thought this was cool. I like the picture front. I almost like the picture on the back more. I thought it was pretty neat. So it's cool to have this franchise essentially in steelbook. Well, mostly the first one aside. But I plan to watch it soon. I wasn't too big on the idea of Sonic being a movie. I know there are people that love it, and to be honest, I saw the trailer for a third movie, and it looks really, really good. So I'm now having to backtrack and see this franchise now so I can see the next one. So I'm excited. And those are the steelbooks. Now let's move on to some other movies. So we have Sasquatch Sunset. This was a beautiful movie. This is very artsy, creative, goofy, different kind of movie. The only thing I can say is if you've seen Swiss Army Man, this one's about the same level as weird, but this one has a really nice message to it. Swiss Army Man sort of keeps you guessing out what was really going on the whole time, whereas this one has a decent message to it. So this one I think was more relatable. Is not the right word, but there's some real emotions and real story in this movie. So I like this one a lot. Next we have Mean Girls. This is the original one. The Burn book being the slipcover for the movie. This is the same front and back from the steelbook for Blu-ray. But this one they went all out and made it whole pink thing as well for the 4K. And I believe this is the first on a 4K copy for the movie. So I watched this movie not all that long ago. I thought it was a pretty good movie, and it was cool to have it on 4K now as well. So we've got that one there. This one, I don't even know how to describe this one, guys. The Person Being a Wallflower. This was a great movie. I was laughing. I was crying. I was disgusted. I was on edge. I was angry. I was anxious. This movie brought out so many different emotions, all packed into, what is it? Yeah, an hour and 40 minutes. Less than 2 hour movie, and it brings out that many emotions. This one is a wild ride. There are moments that are really, really rough, and I have not read the book, but I've heard from those who have that the book it goes into a lot more detail than the movie does. So after watching this movie, after realizing how rough of a watch it is, I realized this moviegoers had it easy with the movie if they skipped the book like I did. So this was a really good movie. All things said, I recommend this movie. This was really good. I liked it a lot. This was one that I haven't found in a while. I've been searching for this copy. We Are Your Friends. This was a fun movie. This one, it has its funny moments, but I don't know if I'd classify it as a comedy. It's just about this group of friends and sort of the friendship and meaning of pursuing their dreams. And this just had a really heartfelt story and message to it that a lot of movies just don't have. So even though I haven't heard really anyone talk about it, I have a friend that recommended this movie. But aside from the one that recommended this movie, I've never heard anyone else even mention this one. So I thought this was a good one. I recommend it. He, like Zac Efron, I would check this one out as well. He has a pretty good performance in that. It's not like Oscar bait, or it's not like some real strong emotional performance like an Iron Claw, but he does really well in this one, and I like it. And now we got, so that actually began our movie trading company section of this video. So I picked that one up in Movie Trading Company and got The Hangover as well. I watched the unrated cut of this. I haven't seen the theatrical version, so I don't know what the difference is. Looking at the runtime on the back, the unrated has extra 8 minutes. So I don't know what's in those 8 minutes, but I thought this was a funny movie. I watched this late at night when I'm already a little tired, and I was laughing throughout this whole thing. This was funny. This was a really good movie, and it's got a great mix of characters. It's obviously got a great mix of cast, but the characters just, this cast blended so well together, and it made it that much more funny. So if you want a good comedy, this one was a recommendation. Now I'm recommending it. I'm paying it forward. I recommend that movie. It's real funny. This one I've heard is a really emotional movie. I have not seen this one yet, but this one was recommended as well, and I really want to see it. If you read sort of the premise on the back, I don't know if I can get it to where you guys can read it, but, you know, sort of gives you that brief synopsis. I was really interested in what this movie was about, and I really want to see it. I think it's got a great message to it from what I hear, so I look forward to diving into this one. And then we got this one. I really don't know much about it at all. I'm sort of going into this one blind, but it's Neon. It's a film by Neon, which is comparable to A24, and Neon seems to have some really grounded movies, but they're more gritty as well. So I've been trying to watch more Neon movies. I have a friend that's been trying to watch more Neon, so this just adds to my collection of those I've seen. I haven't seen it yet, but I will very soon. And so this is one I'm excited to watch. And then this is another comedy I've not seen yet. This one is kind of a crappy packaging, just because this is what happens when you find things at Movie Trading Company. But we got Pineapple Express. So it's got sort of that faded sticker there. This sticker here I can't get off. And, you know, I hear it's a really funny comedy. I just wish I had a cooler box for it, but that's what happens when you find these movies out in the wild at a place like Movie Trading Company. You're not going to find the nicest, most pristine box for these movies. But the thing about physical media is having it at all is better than not having it. So I'm glad I have it. I'm going to check it out soon. Here's a great comedy, and I look forward to seeing it. This next one, this is a Nicolas Cage movie. Now, if I remember correctly, I saw a trailer for this movie once, and I saw it at a Movie Trading Company, wanted to check it out. Basically, if I remember from the trailer correctly, if this is the right one I'm thinking of, which I could be thinking about completely different movies. This was a Nicolas Cage movie, but if this is the same movie I'm thinking of, basically it shows us high school. This is 50 years later, after high school had put a message in a time capsule, and when the time capsule is opened during the present, which is where this movie takes place, for the early 2000s, is there's just a bunch of dates written on it, and these dates, big, important, explosive, controversial, violent things start happening. And so basically, from my understanding, the plot of the movie is to sort of try to find out maybe who wrote the notes, who knows what they mean, how to prevent the bad stuff from happening, try to figure out who knew this was coming, and try to figure out how they knew so they could prevent it from happening. And so if that's not what this movie is about, then that's a completely botched brief synopsis. But I think this is the same one I saw, so if that is the plot for this movie, then I'm looking forward to it, because that just sounds so interesting. And now we're going to dive into horror. So we're going to dive into the last section for this video. So we have this movie, Better Watch Out. This was a very okay movie. I watched under the assumption it was a horror comedy. It was neither scary nor funny. So, oh well, that's what you get when you go into movies blind, basically. This has another one of those, you know, these. You don't say that very often, but, so anyway, this movie was okay. It just wasn't really my cup of tea all that much. The Watcher, which, or not The Watcher, just Watcher, Why that matters, I don't know. I really like this one a lot. You got a really great cast. It was an intense movie. It was an interesting story, interesting plot, some unsettling moments. So I like this one a lot. This definitely earns its whole spot in horror. I would say a lot so, or a lot more so than this one. All right, now we get this next movie. You're Next. Anyway, so I really like this one a lot. This was fun. This is a slasher with sort of a twist on how it's done. This is one of those rare movies where you have a slasher, someone's trying to work through the characters, but the main character fights back, and so they didn't see that coming. This was a fun movie, interesting. It's got some neat plot twists toward the middle and toward the end there. So I like that one a lot. That was a great slasher. This one I have not seen, but this was a rare Walmart find. I found this one new. We got Rob Zombie's Halloween. Now, this was a random find at Walmart. Walmart had this movie. It had the Shout Factory 4K release of Halloween. They had Evil Dead 2 Blu-ray, had The Mist, and then it had DVD, Saw collection, Chucky collection. So one of the two Walmarts close by, one of them had all these movies, the other doesn't have much at all. So it just really depends on where you go. If you have one Walmart near you, I just mentioned Walmart because they're the ones that essentially bought most of the inventory from Best Buy. If you have one Walmart near you, but you have a second that's not that much further or same distance, just in a different direction, I would check out more than one, just because even though they seem like a store that should have the same layout, they have a different inventory, or at least the ones by me. They have a different inventory, different layout. It's just set up differently. So, I just wouldn't give up. If you're looking for a new movie and your Walmart doesn't have much, try another one. I did, and turns out they got stuff like this. Even though I haven't seen it, I look forward to seeing it. It's especially, hence the name, at some point this month. Now we come to one of the more, let's say, one of the dumbest horror movies I've seen. I was warned about it, but I was not prepared for how bad it was going to be. This is Texas Chainsaw. Now, I tried searching this one on Google because I wanted to see the runtime before watching it late at night. I wanted to know who was in it. And this one, as far as Google's concerned, is called Texas Chainsaw 3D, even though it's not on here. I don't know, but like You're Next, this is one of those new Walmart releases where it has that black and orange color tone they all have a quote on the back from the movie, which I think is neat that they have a theme going on. This movie was not all that great at all, but it had some interesting, entertaining moments. Not whole scenes, just entertaining moments. Overall, I'm going to do a review for those because I think this is just a silly movie, but I just couldn't help but think of Batman v Superman for one particular moment that I can't wait to review when I dive into that movie. So, we got a few movies left. We have now, in my opinion, a much better movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Now, this is the gruesome edition. So I don't know if I've seen the gruesome edition before. But here's the thing with this one, is the first one obviously was based off of true events. This one is not. This one's a silly take on it. So, but this was fun. This is what I would recommend as a classic example of horror comedy. It was horror, it had its scary moments, it was comedic, it sort of had different themes to it that essentially cemented as a horror comedy. So I like that movie. It was fun. Does it hold up against some of the greatest horror movies? No. But that one's entertaining, it's funny, it was a good time watching it. This is another one that I'm excited for its sequel. This is not for the fan of heart. This is not for the easily squeamish. This one is not for casual horror fans. Still sealed, we have Terrifier. Terrifier is about one of the most, as far as I've seen, the most messed up horror movies there is. There is absolutely brutal killings, blatant disrespect for characters as far as Art the Clown is concerned. And I don't know if it does on here. It says, makes Pennywise look like Krusty. And well, guys, they're not wrong. Now, I have not seen Hallows' Eve, which I believe Art the Clown is based off of, or at first appeared in, but I've seen the first and second Terrifier. The third is coming out this month. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I'm going to see it, but I don't know if one really can be prepared for a Terrifier movie. So, we'll see what happens with that one, guys. Now, last but not least, I have one of my favorite horror movies, or at least modern horror movies. I'm going to say it's one of my favorite modern horror movies, is Late Night with the Devil. I cannot praise this movie enough. It was one of the neatest, trippiest, entertaining, and yet scary experiences I've ever had watching a movie, especially for horror. Love the front. I love the back. This movie just has a great cast. Dave Dastmalchian absolutely thrived in this sort of a role. Being a talk show host, the way he interacted with his audience, way his body language and mannerisms were in front of the camera, everything about it, I thought it was perfect. There was really no issue I had whatsoever. I didn't have an issue with anyone's acting, didn't have an issue with the lighting, I didn't have an issue with the character placement, I didn't have an issue with the way it was filmed, I didn't have any issue with their decisions on when to have it in color and when to have it in black and white. I didn't have any issue with the script. I didn't have any issue with the plot twist, the ending, anything about it. That's one of the most perfect horror movies, in my opinion, or at least for the modern ones. I love that movie a lot. I highly recommend it to anyone who has even the slightest interest in that movie. I just very highly recommend it. So, obviously, this is the September haul review for these. But we are in October now, so I look forward to diving into the rest of my horror movies of my haven't seen it section in my collection. I look forward to rewatching Halloween. I want to do a review for the Scream movies. I want to do a review for Terrifier and Terrifier 2. If I'm up for it. Horror movies have become one of my favorite genres. It wasn't like that for a long time. I've got a lot of catching up to do. There's a lot of classics I haven't seen, but, there's a lot of classics I have seen. And so, it's just sort of a learning curve, which ones are the goofy ones, which ones are just bad, which ones are bad but funny, which ones are bad but entertaining, which ones are really, really great. So, as I dive into more horror movies, I'm excited to just go into the Halloween theme of scary movies and review them this month. So, I'm excited. Thank you guys for sticking with me for not only my previous videos, but this one as well. I can't wait to do another review. And as always, I will see you guys next time.